Right then, guys, good morning. You join me in the future cafe. I hope it's not echoing too much, but it should be okay. But you join me in the future cafe, workspace area. You see over there, we've built 3 desks. You can't really see them. There's the doors. This is like a little lounge area. So there we go, we're just putting that together. We painted these pillars to give it a real kind of Tuscan vibe. And then just over here, I'll just show you very, very briefly. We've got like an office workspace area. And this is probably the last room that we're gonna do, just because you can also see it's a construction yard. So this is what we've been using to build everything, to put everything together. So this will be the last room to be completed. That's why it currently looks the way it does. But you can really see the potential of what this room's gonna be. It's gonna be, like I said, a cafe. There's gonna be a sauna over there in the corner. You've got your workstations there. You've got this meeting area, this coffee area here. You're gonna have a library over there, workstation over there. There's a coffee area over there that we've bought and put together. So that looks amazing. It's just beyond my wildest dreams. This place, it's gone over and above. And, you know, obviously, as we always do at the start of the videos, guys, if you want to join me here, if you want to sign up, the links are below to join 1M House. This is the next big thing. Get in now before the price shoots up, because this price is going to go 4, 5, 6,000 per year, especially when we have a second and third and fourth location. There's probably one in the UK coming next. So, you know, if you get in now at this cheap price and you are from the UK, for example, you live close by, I mean, it's an absolute steal. It's an absolute steal for you guys. So the links will be below. It'll be application only. Unless you pay $2,999 straight up, then, you know, well, I think anybody who's got that level of money to spend is high level enough to skip the queue. So that's the way we look at it. If you want to grab the supplements, it's free shipping worldwide. And you get a 10% discount if you subscribe monthly. We're down to, I think we've got about 200 left. So if you want to stock up, if you want to grab them, because I think there's going to be a 2-week window where I don't have any. They're currently being manufactured as we speak. If you want to grab our course, I think it's the best content I've ever recorded. I've done breakdowns on everything that I can't really talk about on YouTube anymore, being a professional brand. Things like attracting women, life setup, framing, how to dress, body language, all the old videos from YouTube are on there, all the best ones. We've got breakdowns of Dan Bilzerian and how he set his life up, how Leonardo DiCaprio does it, how I did it on social media. It's the best content I've ever produced. That's why it has a price attached to it. And you can pay in 2 installments, or you can pay $89.99. This value for money is unreal. We've also got the streaming platform, documentary coming soon, that's all below. And also, guys, as I announced recently, if you want to, actually, before I forget, we got the ebook and audio book, and I'm going to restock the paperback version of the Male Advantage very soon. But now, if you want to speak to me one-to-one for an hour or 2 hours, we've got 2 different prices: £299 for an hour, or £399 for 2 hours. A ton of you signed up yesterday, which is fantastic, because I can't wait to speak to you guys. So a lot of people who have been waiting like 2-3 years to do this. So I'm just so glad I was able to make that happen for you guys. But yeah, if you want to talk about anything, it can be money, it could be body language, it could be orthotropics, it could be fitness, it could be depression, it could be like, how did you handle going bald? You know, going through a breakup, whatever it is, guys, I'll be able to help you with all of it, because I've been through everything. That's the advantage of living a tough life, is you can learn a lot along the way. But now we're going to dive into the video, guys. And this video, I just want to talk quickly about something a lot of you younger guys won't quite understand. And the older I get, the more empathy that I have for women in general, but women 25 to 35, maybe even 25 to 40, because if you haven't found a man, there's a big gap in the market. You know, so when you're 19, every guy's pretty much in shape. You know, every guy pretty much looks half decent. Every guy's got a full head of hair. They're relying on their hair heavily. You know, the skin's pretty good. They're lean, they're in shape, they've got a bit of muscle. You know, you don't really need money. Nobody's really that ambitious. But I think for a woman, you turn 25 and you go, I want a little bit more now. You know, the handsome little 23-year-old guy, like let's say 21-year-old guy, it's not really doing it for me anymore. I need 29, 30-year-old guy who's sorted his life out, who's got his own place, who's ambitious, who wants to do this in life. But hang on, most 30-year-old guys have given up. They just go to the pub every night. You know, they've lost their hair. They've added a little bit of body weight. You know, they've got a beer belly. They just go out and watch the football every weekend. And it's hard. It's hard to find a man that's able to do both. And I'm not talking, Elon Musk level wealth and the best body in the world, a Mike Thurston level body. I'm just saying, if you're a guy whose body is like a 7, your wealth is a 7, you've got your own place, you've put in some work and you dress pretty well and you've sorted your life out, I cannot tell you how rare that makes you beyond a certain age. I've said to you guys before, the great male filter. It starts at 25, and by about 29, 30, you start to see it. You start to realize he was putting the work in. The age I'm at now, I'm going to be 32 at the end of August, so 31 now. I can really see it. I can really see who's put the work in, because the problem is when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, you can live at home with parents, you can save a ton of money, you think life's great, you move out, you go and get yourself a house, rented, mortgage, whatever it might be. You add a few things to your life, you now have to pay for your own Wi-Fi, your utility bills, your subscriptions like Netflix and whatnot. And you start to realize food shopping's a big one too, and you start to realize, actually, I don't have as much money as I thought I did. So £3,000 a month becomes £400 spare every single month. Well, £400 spare every single month, is 4,000, I think it's 4,800. 4,800 a year going into your bank account. That's if you don't do, your car doesn't break down, boiler doesn't break down, you don't want to book a holiday, you've got to buy some clothes, you want to go out for your birthday or something like that. You're probably going to be saving like £2,000 a year. Like, where's that going to get you? 10 years time, you've got 20 grand, as long as somebody else doesn't try and take it off you, or you need to pay for something, maybe you need a new car, oh, you have kids, now you're still broke. So it's very, very hard to be the guy. And once all that is going on, why would you worry about fitness? Why would you worry about cooking proper meals? You're going to be tired. You're going to be very, very knackered. Why would you care about skincare, your appearance, going to bed early, whatever? You're working non-stop because money is the biggest factor. So what you get is you get a lot of guys who trade youth and beauty, so to speak, for money and stability. So you get these guys that, and not everyone sorts it out, but you get these guys that are maybe 35 years old that have finally achieved some level of stability and success, but the trade-off is that they're fat. The trade-off is that they look like shit. They've lost all their hair from stress. They just don't look like they used to. They're tired. Their dick doesn't work. There's so many factors that come into this. So to be a guy that is well-rounded, and you don't have to be a 10 in all areas, like I said before, straight 7 system, you find a guy that is a 7 in 10 different areas who's sorted his life out to a decent level, you are so rare that you basically don't exist on that spectrum. And this is the crux of the video. This is what I really want to get into. This is why I feel sorry for women 25 to 35, is that, and look, I think the best age for women is 25 to 29. I think that's when you get beauty and maturity combined into one, sorry. It's the women that I get on best with. It's the women I find most attractive. They dress better. They're better company, in my opinion. And what I want to tell you guys is, like, everybody, when you're growing up, you're thinking, oh, hot 21-year-old, 22-year-old, whatever. You want the women who are a little bit older. And a lot of guys have a stigma of like, oh, they've been ran through. They haven't, honestly. The girls I date, they might have had 1 or 2 boyfriends in 10 years. And they're not about that. Once you get in certain circles, they've just been brought up differently. They've got a mum and dad still in place. It's different, right? And I feel sorry for these women because there are no options. There are no good men. They find it, you see women who are like 28, 29, they're getting married and the guy's like 25% body fat. He's got a load of money, he's a cool guy, he's intelligent, whatever, but he's like 25% body fat. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying it's quite easy to stand out. It's quite easy to be that guy. And I've taught you guys before about the other side of male life. There's an other side of male life when it comes to women. And when I was dating, when I was younger, and I was dating like 21, 22-year-olds, it's hard. It's hard because you make one mistake and they're like, I'm gone. Because they've got so many options and they're a little bit more immature. Whereas the age I'm at now, like let's say if I'm dating a woman who's 26 years old, she's like, I want to take my time. I want to get to know you. I want to build something. I'm not worried about a few little flaws. Like, I think you're a great guy. I can see what you've accomplished. Like, they're really appreciative. It's not, you should have a Ferrari and a mansion. It's like, oh, she's been in the working world for 7 years. She knows how tough this is. So, they understand like, wow, you've stayed in shape. You've managed to work on yourself. You've managed to build businesses. You've managed to do this. Whilst all that is going on, you've managed to maintain relationships with this and that. And you've put this in place and you've done this and you still dress well. You still smell good every day. Like, she appreciates stuff like that because she understands it. This is waiting for you guys. If you put the work in, it's all there. And I promise you, as hard as it is when you're young and as depressing as it is getting rejected over and over, it becomes a lot easier and it becomes nicer. You start actually having meaningful conversations. Women want to go for a nice dinner with you. They want to go for a coffee and a late night walk afterwards. They want to get to know you. They actually will let you off for certain things. I remember when I was at school, some girl said to me, some girl said, "Oh, this is the guy that you've been messaging." It was like a sister of somebody else. When she saw me, she was like, "Oh, he's got big ears." When you get older, that sort of thing just doesn't happen. You know, like some 19-year-old girl might be like, "Oh, I don't want to date a bold guy." Some girl who's like 26, 27 is completely normal and they find it sexy. I remember when, you know, we probably turned about 23, 24, and I remember girls going, "Jason Statham's so hot, Vin Diesel's so hot." I'm saying this is basically the male advantage. Like, things spin in your favor and people's minds change, and you have to get out of that mindset of like some girl who's 25, 26 has been ran through, and like, they haven't. I've dated them. They don't give me that impression. I don't ask, but you know, they give the impression that they haven't slept with a lot of guys. They're very inexperienced. They'll tell you, "Oh, I had a boyfriend for 6 years, the relationship broke off," and you're like, "Wait, you're 26, you had a boyfriend at 20, you couldn't have slept with more than like 2 or 3 guys maximum." And any girl who's been in a 6-year relationship and it didn't work out is somebody that you really want to get with straight after, because they've gained all that experience. They know what they really want in a relationship now, and you can move forward. That's the other side of male life. That's all waiting for you guys. But the point of this video and what I want you to take away is, if you put in that work and you stay in that pocket and you're not worried about, you know, "Oh, I'm 29, I better settle down and get married soon, otherwise I'm going to be lonely forever." If you don't worry about all of that, everything is at your feet. As long as you're a guy who looks good, low body fat, decent amount of muscle, dresses well, smells good, has a nice life, and you don't have to have a mansion and a Ferrari. But if you have like a nice house in a nice area, bought and paid for, or, you know, you've got your bills are managed, you've got a nice social circle, like, you're just somebody who you go, "Wow, I respect you. You've got a really good setup." And that's all I've ever aimed for. And, you know, I've gone over and beyond that, and it's been very nice in my life, but that's all I've ever aimed for, is just solid stability where I choose to work rather than having to work. And then anybody you let into your life is going, this is a good situation. This is a good man. Like, this is a man that ticks all boxes. And, you know, you don't want to be the single guy at 40, 50 years old unless you're a celebrity, but it becomes even more enhanced at that age. Do you know what I mean? So if you're in a relationship and you keep yourself in shape, and you keep pushing, you keep striving, you stay ambitious, she's only going to love you more. And that's the advantage that you have as you get older. And I think youthful dating screws with guys' minds, because it's like, nobody wants me. It's like, trust me, you can be a half, like, you know, the medium ugly thing? You could be like a medium ugly guy who's just in shape, dresses well, smells good, has a half decent professional car, has a half decent house bought and paid for. Because as you get older, you know, the girl who's 21 might want you to have a Ferrari. As you get older, women who are in the working world, who are in the same situation as you, they're getting up every morning and going, "I really don't want to go to work," they appreciate how hard it is. So when they see that you've accomplished some little bits, they go, "Wow, like, I've been trying to buy a house for like 5 years. You've already got one. You've pulled that off. That's amazing." It's just these little wins. You know, if you've got like 2 businesses, or you're working on something, or you've got a talent, you could be an illustrator and you're drawing, they're just like, "Wow, like, I know how hard it is, and I really hope you make it in that." Like, just having a positive mindset every single day, women find that super attractive. You know, getting up early, going to the gym, just let's go and do something today. Like, that becomes super attractive. It's less so the Ferrari and all the other shit that comes with it and whatever. And it's a very nice space to be in. I'm just saying to you guys, the other side of male life is there if you want it, because your competition just doesn't exist. That's why I feel sorry for women who are 25 to 35 who are still single, because it might not be their fault. Their boyfriend might have cheated. They might have been with him for 6 years and he cheats. She's then 26 years old trying to get back in the game. And it's like, oh, I want an older guy because I want somebody who's got their life sorted, but all the older guys are out of shape because they haven't worked on themselves. They haven't got that level of passion that me, you, and whoever else is watching this has. So if you can be well-rounded, if you can be a straight 7 across the board, you can achieve that other level of male life. And I promise you guys, it's the promised land. It's so nice. It makes everything easy. Like, things come to you. It's quite nice. Like, women will make it apparent. Like, I'm looking for a relationship. I want to settle down. It's like, this is a completely different ball game. So that's my message of the day, guys. I hope you enjoyed a little preview of the cafe, workspace, sauna. It's a huge room, this, absolutely huge. This could be, you know, like a 3-bedroom apartment on its own. It's enormous. And I'll give you a full vlog soon. Remember, the links are below, guys. If you want to have a chat with me for an hour, if you want to talk about anything, or 2 hours or whatever. I've got around about 3 of the days are fully booked now, but later in the week, if you want to book, that should all fit in perfectly. So I'll I'll speak to you guys soon.